very good morning to all of you. I am back. This is your Padma ma'am. So in today's class, we shall continue or proceed with the principles of management as propounded by Henry Fayol. Without any delay, let us start the class. In the previous classes, we have completed with the principle of division of work or the principle of division of labor. We completed with the principle of unity of command, principle of unity of direction. We completed with the principle of scalar chain. We completed with the principle of fair remuneration. We completed with the principle of order. We completed with the principle of what was the next one? Fair remuneration, principle of order, parity between authority and responsibility, and we completed with the principle of centralization and decentralization. So, out of 14 of them, we have already completed discussing 8 principles. So, I hope all the previous classes were clear to understand for you, right? So, shall we proceed with today's class without any delay? So, in today's class, our principles of discussion would be principle of equity, principle of discipline, principle of subordination of individual interest to group interest, principle of esprit de corps, principle of initiative, and principle of stability of tenure. So, out of 14 principles in our previous classes, we have already completed with 8 of them. So, in our today's class, I have listed them on the board, so it will be clear, more clear and easy for you to understand. So, in our today's class, we shall discuss these 6 principles and we would be completing with all the 14 principles of management as propounded by whom? By Henry Fayol. Therefore, he is popularly called as the father of principles of management. Henry Fayol propounded or developed 14 principles of management. Therefore, he is popularly referred to as the father of the principles of management. So, shall we begin our today's class? So, what is the first principle of discussion for today? Principle of equity. What do you understand by the word equity? It somewhat sounds like equal. Equity means equal. The principle of equity states that there should be justice and kindness for all. Means all the employees of the organization should be given equal priority. All the employees in an organization should be treated equally. So, the principle of equity states that there should be justice and kindness for all. Means there should not be any nepotism means or favoritism. What? There should not be any nepotism or favoritism. Is that clear? So, shall we proceed to the next principle? These are the most smaller ones and the most easier ones. So, if this question, not if, most of the time it is a sure shot question. Most of the time the question on the principles of management is sure to appear in your exams. It can appear as small questions, bit questions, or it will appear as a single lengthy essay answer or a long answer. So, you need to be thorough with all the 14 principles. That is the reason I am taking more and more classes on these principles. I am allocating more time for you, right? So, please be thorough with all 14 of them. These can appear for small as well as long answers. As I told you, if it appears for a long, lengthy essay answer, long answer, please do attempt this. Is a very mark scoring or mark fetching question. So, if you can write all 14, well and good. If the time does not permit, at least try to recall and attempt 14 of them. So, first start writing with the most important ones or the lengthier ones and then go for the smaller ones. See, principle of equity. The principle of equity says what? States that there should be justice and kindness for all. Means there should not be any favoritism or nepotism. All the employees in the organization should be given equal priority or they should be treated equally, right? Very easy and simple to understand, right? and very easy to write as well. Very simple to understand and easy to write. So please do go and attempt for the smaller and the easier ones. Next, moving on to the principle of discipline. So I need not tell you what is the meaning of discipline. Discipline means not keeping quiet. Discipline includes all the behavioral mannerisms, like how you carry yourself, how you talk, how you move about, everything comes under personal discipline. So here discipline, as you all know, there is a popular proverb or there is a popular quotation, okay, discipline is the key to success, right? ओडिया रे डिसिप्लिन माने कौन? श्रृंखला. ओडिया रे हमें डिसिप्लिन को कौन कहूँ? श्रृंखला. As you all know, discipline is the key to success. No business cannot exist or prosper in the absence of discipline, because in the absence of discipline there would be lot of disorder, or disorder at its highest, right? Wherever you find discipline, there would be good labor management relations. There would be good, healthy, cordial relationship between the labor and the management, right? So discipline, the principle of discipline states that, what does it say? It states that there should be respect and obedience for the authority. Authority means power. Who has authority? Your superior, your immediate boss. Your power or authority refers to power. Who has the power? Your boss or your immediate superior. So what does the principle of discipline say? Principle of discipline says that there should be respect and obedience for authority, or as you all know, discipline is the key to success. In simple, putting it in simpler terms, in Odia, discipline means shrunkhala, right? Why? Because in the absence of discipline, a business cannot exist or survive for long, because the disorder would be at its highest. So what is the most essential element or the factor in a successful business? There should be proper discipline, because discipline promotes cordial, healthy relationship between the employees and the management. So shall we move on to the next principle? Shall we move on to the next point? I hope these two are clear to all of you. Now, principle of subordination of individual interest to group interest. What do you mean by subordination? Subordination means surrendering, submitting. Subordination means suppressing, surrendering or submitting. You can take it in that way. Subordination means suppressing your own interest. Personal interest means nijjara. So subordinating individual interest means your own interest. Subordination of individual interest means personal interest. Subordination means suppressing. So suppressing or surrendering or submitting your interest for the sake of the group. The group here refers to the organization or the organizational goal or the organizational interest or the interest of the business as a whole. Group refers to the organization or the business as a whole. So what does this point say? Principle of subordination means surrendering or suppressing or submitting your individual interest. Okay, you should not let your individual interest rule over. You should not allow your personal interest to dominate over the group interest. So what did Henry Fayol say? Henry Fayol said that the group interest should be given topmost priority. Group refers to the business or the organization as a whole. So what is the group interest or the business interest? Obviously it is the group interest refers to the goals of the business or the target set by the business. So what did Henry Fayol suggest in this principle? As the name indicates, principle of subordination of individual interest to group interest means you should surrender, submit or suppress your personal interest for the benefit of the business as a whole. Group interest refers to the benefit of the business or the business goals. So what does this principle say? You should dominate? No. You should suppress or subordinate or submit your individual personal interest for the sake of group interest. Group interest refers to the interest of the business or the organization as a whole. let me better explain it with the help of a small illustration. It is also provided in some of the textbooks. For suppose I am a purchase manager. So, who am I? I am a purchase manager. The purchase manager, what does he do? He is in charge of the purchase department. So, he purchases all the required raw materials. For suppose I am a purchase manager and my son is a raw material supply dealer. So, who is my son? My son is a raw material supplier. He is a dealer. So, instead of going to an outsider, if I approach my son and I purchase the raw material at a higher price, at a much higher price than the market price, that would be my personal interest, because it would be benefiting me and my son, because it is in my personal interest. Why? Because I am a purchase manager. I am purchasing the raw material from whom? I am purchasing the raw material from my son, right? Are you getting me? At what price? At a price much higher than the market price. So, it is profiting my pocket and my son's pocket. It is benefiting me and my son. No doubt, we are at a profit, we are benefiting. So, this is my personal interest, but should I do that? No. So, what is Henry Fayol suggesting in this principle? Henry Fayol says that we should not let a personal interest override the group interest. Means we should subordinate, suppress, submit or surrender a personal profit, personal gains, personal benefits, personal intentions for the benefit or the welfare of the organization or the business as a whole. This is profitable. This transaction is profitable to me and my son. It is fetching me profit. But is it beneficial to the business as a whole? Is it beneficial to the organization? No. It is not desirable for the business or the organization. Why? Because I am purchasing it from my son at a rate much higher than the market price. Are you getting me? So, what should I think? So, I should think in favor or in the benefit of the business. Why? Because if the business excels, if the business succeeds, if the business prospers as a whole, if the organization succeeds, excels and prospers as a whole, it would be benefiting me as an employee as well. So, what should I do? In this case, according to this principle, what is the principle we are discussing now? Subordination of individual interest to group interest. According to this principle, as propounded by Henry Fayol, I should not allow my personal interest or personal profit to override the group interest. Why? If I think in favor, in the benefit of the business, everything beneficial to the business would benefit me. Why? Because if the business grows, excels and prospers, we are the dependents on the business. So, we would also be prospering, excelling in the or growing in the same direction. So, I hope it's clear to you. Are you understanding me? Are you getting me? What am I trying to explain? Can you conceive the concept? So, let me move on. Moving on to the next principle, that is the principle of esprit de corps. So, what do you mean by the term esprit de corps? Do not panic or do not confuse yourself. Esprit de corps refers to a sense of belonging. Sense of belonging means moro, amoro, not moro. We should not use the word I. We should use the word we. What? What do you mean by the principle of esprit de corps? The principle of esprit de corps states that there should be a sense of belonging, loyalty and team spirit to the group to which one belongs, to the group to which we belong. For suppose Indian cricket team, each one of the, oh I am Virat Kohli. No, we all are a group. We are one, because at the international level they represent India as a whole. So, I am just trying to correlate and explain. Take the case of Indian cricket team. Will you say, oh I am Virat Kohli, I am all in all? No. Everything means here I should not be given any importance. I should not be stressed on. So, what should be stressed here? We. Instead of I, here I should not be given priority. Instead of I, we should lay emphasis or we should lay stress on the word we, not I, but we should put emphasis on the word we. Mane mu nahi, amme. I means what? Mu in Odia, right? So here priority should not be given to I, but it should be stressed on the word we. Mane amme. Amme sobu gotte. We all are one. We are a team, right? The Indian cricket team represents India at an international level. So they all are one. They are a team. They are a group, right? In a similar way, this principle also says the same. It is also trying to convey the same meaning. What does it say? The principle of esprit de corps says that we should stress more on the word we rather than I. Means there should be a sense of belonging, ammaro. There should be a sense of belonging, loyalty and team spirit to the group to which one belongs or to the group to which we belong. Did you understand? Now, moving on to the next principle, that is the principle of initiative. What do you mean by the word initiative? Initiative mane kona? The principle of initiative. Initiative means trying to think something new, in a new way, in a better way. Okay, creating new ideas, new inventions, new thoughts, giving rise to new ideas, giving rise to new thoughts, new inventions. So, initiative means thinking something new, something extraordinary, something out of the way, out of the box, something out of the way, new, creative, right? So, as the name suggests, what do you understand from this? The principle of initiative suggests that every employee should be given a chance to think out a plan and to ensure its proper and successful implementation. Means what? Every individual should be given a chance to think out of the box, to think out of the way something new, something creative, something innovative, something new, something creative out of the way. More emphasis should be given to thinking. Everybody should be given a chance to bring out their initiative. The principle of initiative states that every employee or every subordinate should be given a chance to think out a plan and to ensure its successful implementation. Implementation means putting into practice, putting the plan into action or putting the plan into practice, right? So, this is about the principle of initiative. Means they should be given a chance to think in their own way, out of the box, going out of the way, something new, in a better way, in a creative way. Now, let us move on to the last principle of today's class, the point of discussion, that is principle of stability of tenure. What do you understand or mean by the word tenure? Tenure refers to the work period or the work duration. The duration of work or the work period is referred to as tenure. So, what does this principle say? This principle says that there should be stability of tenure. So, the last principle, that is the principle of stability of tenure, states that every employee should be given an assurance that they are in that organization or working for that organization as a part of that organization for a certain period or for a certain period of stability of tenure. Stability माने स्थिर हेकरी माने एम्प्लॉई मानंकु वर्कर मानंकु गोटे एश्योरेंस दबा पड़ियो कि तमे भी आमर अनुष्ठान रो गोटे पार्ट, तमे ए पाखरे केते दिन पे आम पाखरे एज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तमे बेडे स्थिर हेकरी अच्छो. Like they take a written contract. Are you getting me? In some of the corporate sectors, in some of the organizations, like most of the companies, they take a written undertaking or a written contract that I would be working with this organization for the coming 1 year or 2 years. Like I would be rendering my services, I assure to render my services to this organization for the coming 2 years. We take a written contract. Why? That written contract is called nothing but stability of tenure. Why? Because as a new entrant, you will not be handed over the job directly. You will not be set to field. Okay, you go and work on the field. No. So before, once you enter the organization, you are given a training. Like you go through a training program, right? You are just a trainee there. A trainer comes to train you. A trainer comes to train you, just a trainee there. You go through a training period, or you most popularly call it as the probation period. So what are you doing there in that probation period or the training period? You are taught how to work on that job. You are taught the tricks related to the job or the practical knowledge about that job, right? As a new entrant, mostly it happens in the corporate sector or the company lifestyle. They take a written agreement called as a contract, where you assure to render your services to that organization or to that company for the coming year or two. आसंता वर्ष 2 वर्ष पाए मु ए कंपनी रे तिष्ठिकी रहिबी आ मो सर्विसेस ए कंपनी पाई देबी ताहले जाओ जो तुमको फील्ड को पठे काम करो कहबे नो बिकॉज यू आर अ न्यू एंट्रेंट देयर यू आर जस्ट ए ट्रेनी अ पर्सन हु टेक्स द ट्रेनिंग इज कॉल्ड अ ट्रेनी एंड अ पर्सन हु रेंडर्स or provides the training is called as a trainer, right? So you are just a trainee there. So what are you given? You are given training. You are going through the training period, or you popularly called as the probation period. So what are you doing in the probation period? During the probation period or the training period, you are taught about the practical knowledge of that job, or you are taught माने किमिति से काम को प्रकृत रे करा जाए, the tricks and the nooks of that job. You are taught that, right? Then only once you have learned or you have received that training, then only you are sent to you are given an outset to work, right? तापरे हमको काम करिया को छाड़िबे, right? So this training process is not simple and easy. It involves a lot of time and expenditure. कहीं कंपनी को हमको ट्रेनिंग दबा पाए गोटे ट्रेनर को आनिया को पड़ुची. Okay, for providing training they need to hire a trainer. A trainer should be given a good package or a good lump sum handsome amount, right? A trainer should be provided with a lump sum or a good handsome amount of remuneration, or you should be offered a package. Trainer को गोटे भल्लो मोटा रकम देले ही से ट्रेनिंग दबा को आसीबो. तेणुकरी ए ट्रेनिंग पीरियड टा समय हिसाब से with respect to time and with respect to incurring expenses, it is a costly procedure, right? जदि हमें से जॉब छाड़ी पळेबा आउ जने नुआ आसीबो ताकू पुणी ट्रेनिंग दबा, that again involves a lot of time and expense, right? What suppose if I quit my job, again a new entrant comes, again you provide him training. It is both time consuming and it is equally expensive for the organization or the business, right? So the principle suggests that there should be a stability of tenure, because when there is stability of tenure, then only the newcomer or the trainee or the employee gets time to get acquainted with the job, to expose his or to bring out his skill and talent, right? It takes time for everybody to adjust in an environment. It takes time to learn a particular job and bring out an inner talent, right? So कौन सी भी नुआ परिवेश रे हम हठात एडजस्ट हो पारे गोटे नुआ परिवेश एडजस्ट होकि काम शिखिकी आमर टैलेंट को माने आमर दक्षता को एफिशिएंसी को स्किल को आनिया पे समय लागिबो. तेणुकरी हेनरी फेयल कहिले कि देयर शुड बी स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ tenure. Not only that, the stability of tenure relieves the employee of the tension of uncertainty that he may be kicked out any moment or any time out of the organization. माने सदा बेले गोटे न्यूकमर को कौन से भी गोटे नुआ जगार गोटे डर लगी थाए मुझे तिष्टि पारिबी ना नहीं मते रखिबे ना काढ़ीदेवे से सब बेले गोटे टेंशन थाए. तेणुकरी हेनरी फेयल कहले गोटे स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ टेन्योर थिले नॉट ओनली फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और द बिजनेस बट ऑल्सो फॉर द ट्रेनी और द एम्प्लॉई. ही इज रिलीव्ड ऑफ मेंटल टेंशन and he can focus his full attention and concentrate on the job. So what happens? He can focus and concentrate on the job. जदि आमको अन्य टेंशन नथिले सेते बेले ही आमे काम को पूरा भाबरे कंसंट्रेट करिकरी भल भाबरे सिखी पारिबा. Therefore stability of tenure is very important or essential in every organization because it takes time to learn, to get acquainted with the job and to bring out our inner talent, right? And let me tell you before ending the class, let me highlight that, okay, instability, opposite of stability, sthiratva means stability, opposite of stability is instability, mane asthiratva. Let me tell you, instability of tenure is both the cause and the effect of bad management. Means what? Instability of tenure reflects that the quality of management in the organization is not good because every now and then the employees quit and move on to a new job. Why would they do that? Only when they face some problem with the management. This indicates that instability of tenure, we can conclude or put it in one phrase saying that the instability of tenure is both the cause and the effect of bad management. So both the cause and effect of bad management means it can be totally attributed to, instability of tenure can be totally attributed to bad management. माने आमे केबे गोटे व्यवसाय को गोटे चाकरी को किंबा गोटे अनुष्ठान को आमे केबे छाड़ी जिबा आमु भलो थिले छाड़ी जिबा नाही आमको किछि वी आर फेसिंग सम प्रॉब्लम आमु किछि असुविधा होछ आमु किछि भलो होनी ताहेले आमे छाड़ी जिबा काहेकि बेसी परिश्रम हो जाउची कम दरमा मिलुची we think that we are putting on more effort whereas we are underpaid, something like that, right? So we can conclude saying that instability of tenure can be purely attributed to bad management, and it would not be wrong in saying that instability of tenure is both the cause and effect of bad management. Therefore, what is most important according to Henry Fayol? There should be stability of tenure in every organization. So now I am concluding the class. Let me conclude. So these were the 14 principles of management as propounded by Henry Fayol. So I dealt with each of them in detail. I explained it to you. I hope you could understand today's class. Hope you liked my class. In case you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay online, stay home, stay safe. That's all for today. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.